What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to the show. So today we're going to talk about the 4 changes that Social Security has implemented. They actually implemented these last week, so we're going to go over these. And mainly it's focused on overpayments, but this is good because you see the new commissioner, Martin Nalii, coming in and making some changes for the better. And we hope that we will continue to see changes when it comes to the Social Security Administration. So we're going to talk about that in this video. But first off, if you guys can do me a favor, please like the video, subscribe to the channel, hit that little bell notification, and then click all. By clicking all, you'll get notified anytime we post a video. We do daily videos here, so by clicking the bell notification and clicking all, you should be getting updated every day. And just a reminder, thank you for your support. I really appreciate it. And if you'd like to follow me on Twitter and Threads, you can at the TEC Show Live. Okay, so I want to talk about 2 things before we get into the topic. One is I am going to start using the community tab on YouTube. And so I'll start posting articles and things like that so you guys can check those out. And then additionally, I'm going to really start pushing for memberships. Okay, so this is what I'm going to do. When I do a live stream, I will gift memberships to you guys. Okay, so you don't have to pay anything. You'll be gifted a membership for a month. And so I'm going to start doing that. I'll roll that out this Thursday. So we start doing our live streams. And then if you're watching and if you're contributing to the live stream, then you could get a gift of membership. So that's what we're going to be doing as well. And then if you like the membership program, because ultimately what I want to do with memberships is I want to have kind of a private chat. Okay, so I want to have members where we can sit and do live streams. And let's say I'm still going to do the live stream every Thursday. That will be open to everyone. But I'll do private live streams where we just talk about topics. And it'll be a little more intimate environment where we can just kind of talk back and forth. And I'll talk about some of the research that I'm doing when it comes to some of the different topics that I want to talk about, as well as I can get your feedback and your ideas for future videos and all that. So I'm really going to start pushing the memberships. You can become a member if you want to do that on your own, as well as on Thursdays at 5:15 Pacific Standard Time. We'll be doing that live stream and I will be gifting memberships. Okay, so that's going to be the new thing. So make sure you guys are there. And so you might get the gift of a membership. So you guys will have that for a month and you can check it out. And I'm really going to start amping that up where I'm doing more content that is for members as well as doing the regular content. Okay, now I want to make this clear. I'm not changing anything. You're not going to see a change when it comes to our channel. The only thing is we're adding more memberships. Okay, so that's it. There's not going to be a change. You're going to see my videos every day. You're going to see my live streams. That's not changing, but I do want to have a separate area where I can talk with members and kind of go over some of the different topics of the day and things like that. That's all I'm doing. Okay, let's go ahead and I want to open up. Let me show you this first. So I want to talk about some of the different changes that Social Security they've already made. Okay, so this is already implemented, but we're going over them now because you might not have heard of some of the changes that they've made. So the first change, it says starting next Monday, March 25th, which we know that was a week ago, we will be ceasing the heavy-handed practice of intercepting 100% of an overpayment beneficiary's monthly Social Security benefit by default if they fail to respond to our demands for repayment. Okay, this is important. Because what they were doing before is if, let's say, they were sending you a letter saying that you owed, let's just say, $10,000. And because you've been overpaid for 4 or 5 years and now you owe $10,000. And let's say they sent that letter to you and you didn't see the letter or they sent it to the wrong address or what have you. What they were doing is they were giving you some time. So they probably sent out a few letters. And then they were just taking your whole benefit. And so you're waiting for your benefit. Let's say it's the 3rd and you're waiting for your benefit. You never received it. And you're thinking, well, what happened? Well, guess what? They just took your whole benefit because you didn't respond. So they're now changing that. And it says, moving forward, we will now use a much more reasonable default withholding rate of 10% of monthly benefits. Okay, so 10%. That is much better. That won't have, that's not the same impact of taking 100%, but I would say that's still a huge impact because look at it like this. Let's say the average person receiving Social Security benefits is receiving about $1,907. So that same person, if they were to lose 10%, let's say if they received those overpayments and then Social Security Administration caught it and then they sent the letters and they didn't receive the letter and they didn't respond to the letter, Well, they would take about $190. That's a lot of money still, but it's much better than the current or the past situation that they had where they were taking 100%. And they're also going to allow you to set up a plan, a payment plan after that, okay? And then it goes on to say, similar to the current rate in the Supplemental Security Income Program, okay, so SSI. Okay, so that is the first change that Martin Nalii is making. Okay, now looking at the second change that they're making at the Social Security Administration. And it says, we will be reframing our guidance and procedures so that the burden of proof shifts away from the claimant in determining whether there is any evidence that the claimant was at fault in causing the overpayment. This is huge. This is really big because now they're shifting that burden of proof. So if you're in a situation that I don't know how far they're going to go with this, we'll have to see. Only time will tell how this affects people. But let's say, no fault of your own, you're receiving this extra money, okay? And you don't know, and you're thinking, oh, everything is fine. And we've heard some stories, and I've shown you some stories. A couple of months ago, I was showing you some different stories that were coming out where they were mailing in their pay stubs. They were doing the things that they were asked to do, but for whatever reason, the calculations were off, and they had no idea. And years down the road, now they find out, oh, you know what? You've been overpaid for the last 3 or 4 years, and now you owe us $20,000. And so it's not that person's fault because they were doing the things that were asked of them, and they thought everything was fine. And so now in the future, hopefully they'll be looking at these and they'll say, you know what? Social Security Administration, we messed up, and we're just going to waive this because we messed up. That's the hope, okay? But it is good that Martin Nalii, the commissioner, is looking into this and saying, look, some of this stuff is just not fair. We're making mistakes, and we're taking way too long to find out that we've made these mistakes, and now we're burdening the people receiving Social Security benefits and telling them that they owe this $20,000 debt or a $40,000 debt or just crazy stuff. And we know already because some of this stuff has been getting out and news outlets have been covering and interviewing some of these different people. And we know the Social Security Administration has been waiving some of these cases because they're looking at them and saying, yeah, you know what, it looks really bad on us because we waited way too long in order to look at these cases and realize that these people were being overpaid. And so they went ahead and they just waived them. Okay. So that's number 2. Number 3. All right. Number 3 says, for the vast majority of beneficiaries who request to work out a repayment plan, we recently changed our policy so that we will approve repayment plans of up to 60 months. That's really important, 60 months. Now they're moving from, I think it was 36 months. I think it's down lower in this paragraph, but they're switching to 60 months. So now they're giving you a little bit more time. So it's not so much of a burden as far as I gave the example. Let's say they told you need to pay 10%. So $190 if you're receiving that average benefit of $1,900, and they tell you, okay, you need to pay 10%. Now you're paying $190 a month. Well, they can arrange the 60 months, so now maybe you can pay a little bit less than that every month to pay it off. So it says to qualify, Social Security beneficiaries would only need to provide a verbal summary of their income, resources, and expenses, and recipients of the means-tested SSI program would not need to provide even this summary, okay? So what they're saying is SSI doesn't have to provide any summary, but if you're receiving Social Security benefits, all you need to do is to provide a verbal summary. So over the phone, you can tell them your income, your resources, and your expenses. And then they can use that to figure out how to set up a payment plan. Okay, let's go ahead and move forward. This change extended the easier repayment option by an additional 2 years from 36 months to 60 months. So I think that's going to be good as well. So, and the reason why we're talking about this is because a little less than 1 million people received a letter saying that they were overpaid and they needed to pay the Social Security Administration. That was in 2023. We don't know what the numbers are going to look like in 2024, but this is clearly a problem. Now, you might be thinking, well, I wasn't overpaid. I was never overpaid, so why should I even listen to this? Because this goes into the future. So there could be a situation where the Social Security Administration sends you that same letter saying that you were overpaid and you need to make repayments. So that's why this is important. All right, let's move to the last one here. And it says, and finally, we will be making it much easier for overpaid beneficiaries to request a waiver of repayment. Okay, this is important. A waiver of repayment. In the event they believe themselves to have been without any fault and or the ability to repay. Okay, so they're saying here that if you are not at fault, or if you feel that you were not at fault, you'll have the ability to fill out a form to see if you can get that waiver. Okay, so and then also if you're in a situation where you don't have the ability to make this repayment, then they'll look at it like that. So I think overall, this is a good thing. I think this will help a lot of people who are struggling right now. And you have people that are on a fixed income and they're receiving Social Security benefits, and some people are receiving that Social Security benefits, and that's all they're getting. They don't have any other retirement plan set up. And even if you did, even if you had a retirement plan set up and you were receiving that money, and then you're also receiving $1,900 in Social Security benefits, if the Social Security Administration was overpaying you for a period of time, and then they say, okay, well, you owe $20,000, that would be, that would hurt most people. Most people that would hurt, because now you're having to pay that back. And if they're not making, obviously they've made some changes to the payment plans, which is good. They made changes to if you don't respond, they're not going to take that whole, Social Security benefit. That's also good. And so they're moving in the right direction. Ultimately, what I've been saying when we started covering this about a year and a half ago, when it comes to overpayments, I've been saying the Social Security Administration, they need, and it's not going to be on the Social Security Administration. So realistically, it's going to be on Congress. Congress needs to look into this and just start, just wipe the slate clean for those people who owe money. Okay, maybe say anyone that has received a letter where they were being overpaid for more than 5 years, they need to just wipe that slate clean and then start again, and make sure now you're using technology and everything so you don't get into this same bind again, because it's ridiculous that if the Social Security Administration, if they were on top of their game, okay, and now it looks like they're starting to move in the right direction, but if they were on the top of their game, then we wouldn't be in this situation where we're looking at people owing all this money. So I want to know what you guys think about this, so let me know in the comments below. If you like this video, please give me a thumbs up. Please subscribe for more, and I'll talk to you in the next one.